Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is the show that I do every week, typically on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, but because of life, we've had to make some adjustments to things. I think that this is the earliest that the Ready, Set, Go preview show has ever occurred. And it is a Friday night. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your respective nights to make the adjustments to actually join me for this live stream. Trust me when I tell you that it is all for a good cause that we will not talk about at this moment, but it is all for a good cause and it will all be revealed at some point down the line. Before we get started tonight, I want to give a huge shout out to my man, Vika, who dropped the super chat before the show even started. That is an awesome subscriber. Didn't even say a word and was hooked up with the super chat. Vika, brother, I definitely appreciate you and your generosity that you have demonstrated consistently over the course of this last year. And moreover, I think the friendship that you've been able to impart and share with me over this last year. I definitely appreciate you. 1 second. I had the foot warmer on, and because of the issues regulating my temperature last night, I thought I would go ahead and turn that foot warmer off. The wife hooked me up with a wonderful Christmas gift. It is a wonderful rubber mat that sits below my feet that keeps them nice and toasty. And when I start turning on all these studio lights, it gets a little too warm in here. And then I'm also slightly under the weather. So we're going to get this thing started. Glitter and duct tape. How you doing? I did not know that you were on Instagram. I think you said something in your story about me earlier today, and I got a notification. I was like, oh, Glitter and Duct Tape's on Instagram. So I think I followed you. But you definitely have my apologies. I was not aware that you were on the Instagram machine. So there we go. I had not followed you, but I just did it this moment now. So welcome to the live stream. And I am feeling better, Jerry. Thank you, brother, for asking. I am feeling a lot better. The family is feeling better. Carter, actually, my son, actually had a weird rash like on his face, and we were a little concerned about that, but this morning it actually cleared up. I think it was just a side effect of him being ill and maybe taking some medication and stuff like that. But yeah, I think everyone is feeling a little bit better today. So tomorrow will be a new day. And fingers crossed, we will be even better tomorrow. So let me scroll up to the top here and say, Tina, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Scott, welcome to the live stream. Harvey Abel, is always good to see you, my friend. I'm certain that you're going to watch this on the replay, but thank you for joining. Randy's in the house. Squirrel Madness is in the house. How you doing, brother? I think you said you are laying in the bed with the dog. I hope both of you are doing well up there in Canada. Hey, Rob, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling down through the names. Hopefully the chat will actually stick with me tonight instead of going out. Eugene, it is good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through the names. Again, a huge shout out to my man Vika here for hooking me up with that. Scrolling down, I'm actually not reading the comments. I'm just kind of scrolling through so I can give a couple of people a shout out here. We already said hello to my man Bearded Comic Collector. Is always good to see you. I'm glad you were able to join. Jeffrey is in the house. Scrolling down through the names here. Venomized, how you doing, brother? Have you started pressing books yet? Hopefully you have, and hopefully it's all turning out quite well. Joe, how you doing? It's good to see you as well. All right, and I think I just saw Christopher up there. I saw Cool and Collected. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Hillbilly Comics is in the house. There we go. All right. So real quick, several of you have actually sent me some AOKs over the last several days and things like that. I have not reached out to you individually to say thank you, but I will say group thank you right now, and stay tuned because videos will be coming out where I will actually thank you specifically for the things that you sent over to me. It's sometimes a little hard for me to get the AOK, to get it unboxed, to do the video, to get it edited, and then to remember to say thank you to people separate and apart from that. So you definitely have my apologies, but rest assured that if you put a note in that AOK, you will get a shout out in the video. And so I definitely just want to acknowledge that because there are some people that are here in the room that have had some delays with me giving them a huge shout out. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Scrolling down, what is this? Okay, you guys are having a good conversation there. So what I decided to do tonight is I may do a little bit of a crossover thing before we get to the Go Collect giveaway for this week, which is Dark Hawk #1. I decided to do something a little bit different. I actually put up a little bit of a Q&A. And anytime I travel or something like that, or have a couple of free moments, I'll do a Q&A on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram at RegieCollects, you will actually see me do Q&As. And the Q&As are a great way for me to interact with you guys, to fill a little bit of time when I'm traveling or something like that. So I decided to do one tonight, kind of as a last minute thing. And what I did is I basically said, if people send me questions on Instagram via the story feature, that I will actually respond to them here on YouTube. So I have right now just one question there that I will try to get to. And then I'll of course be taking questions from the live stream here. This is, we are making this up as we go along because we had to make some adjustments because of, life. But what we will do as part of Ready, Set, Go is I will give you a rundown of all the videos that are going to be dropping this week. I will also give you a heads up to something that I may try to do that's a little different for 2020. And then, of course, we will answer questions that you guys have. So we did, I think it was a live stream yesterday. We did basically a live Q&A, and it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it. So we're definitely going to continue doing that. Mr. Comic says, my New Year's resolution is to buy more comics. Brother, I don't think you actually need to set a resolution for something you're going to do. Typically, it's something you need to do better at, or to start. A habit you need to break. Eugene says he's decided to give up pop since he drinks oh my goodness, drinks a 2-liter. Oh, I thought you said 2 liters. Drinks a 2-liter a day. Well, that is a worthwhile goal. Not like you're going to buy more comics. Giving Mr. Comic 89 a hard time. I love that guy. So the one question that's been submitted over here on the Instagram machine is a really tough one, to be honest with you. The tough one, because as I looked at the question, I'm like, I need to actually give some thought to this one, because I've read so many questions, so many comics over the course of this last year. It's really, really hard for me, like on the spot, to think of 5 favorite comic books for 2019. It's really tough. And so what is this? NYC Collectors has posed this question of my personal favorite top 5 books for 2019. And it's a tough one because, again, I would like to have given some thought to it. But what I will say is that House of X, as we talked about yesterday, is definitely on that list, right? House of X is definitely on the list for me for 2019 because it is a very important book. And I'm talking about all of them, all 6 parts. All 6 parts were great. The ripples that are coming off of that book are just exploding everywhere, right? So that's definitely one. I would say I read some early Human Torch. I read Marvel Comics #1, and I read it digitally, and I enjoyed it. I am a huge fan of the original Human Torch, the Android Human Torch. And that's part of the reason why I kind of like the Invaders and some of that stuff. So I would say that that's definitely a good book because it's just one of those books that I want to own maybe at some point. If I ever get that crazy amount of money, I'd like to own that book. But the Human Torch character is a fantastic one to me. And those Schomburg covers, Steven actually showed me a couple of Schomburg covers earlier today featuring Human Torch that were quite incredible. So I would have to throw that on there. I actually read some Superman. I read some Superman this year. I can't remember what the title was. It was a title that you guys had recommended. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I read some early Flash, like Flash 1 kind of stuff, right? And I enjoyed those. And again, no specific issues with either the Superman or the Flash. Those are just books that I just enjoyed. And then you may even be able to throw like Philadelphia and maybe even I don't know if that's a favorite. I was about to say Vampire State Building. I enjoyed that. I don't know that that's like a favorite. I don't know if that's a top 5 kind of book. It's definitely on a list, but probably not top 5. So I'll probably stop there. Those are probably some of the books / titles / characters that I had an opportunity to read this year that I enjoyed. And again, I read so much. I went back and read the first appearance of Luke Cage. Enjoyed it. I had never read it before. Absolutely enjoyed that book. And part of the reason why that one's on my mind is because someone posted up a photo of me earlier today holding that book. And somebody was like, congratulations. I was like, oh no, I actually don't own that book. I actually bought it and gave it away as part of the GoCollect giveaway, right? So I don't actually own it. And one day I hope to be able to actually get it back because I probably should have bought 2 of them. So huge shout out to my man Rob Boswell for the dope super chat. He says for my Star Wars collection. I appreciate you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. So scrolling down through the names, definitely if you guys have questions or something like that, throw them up in all caps so I can actually see them and we'll try to address them. Oh, that the Marauders. He thinks Bishop and Kitty. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, you know, now it's Kate, right? She's no longer Kitty. If you call her Kitty, that's in an inappropriate relationship. But Kate is Kate the pirate. I could see some magic being made there. I need to go back and look at those photos because I always felt like Bishop with the long flowing hair never really worked for me. So I need to see whether he has a clean cut. So I want to go back look at that. I want to go back and look at that, but anything is possible. Anything is possible with Kate and this, you know, her newfound, you know, seniority in the Hellfire Club, her newfound attitude, her, devil come what may kind of attitude. Now, I actually dig it. And for the first time, in my opinion, Kitty Pryde is a very, very interesting character. And I know other people kind of disagree with that. They've always thought that she was interesting. For me, she has just now become interesting. I've always enjoyed Bishop, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Bishop. And that's what I'll also say. I'll say that about the House of X. That's why this is on my list, is because there are characters that that I never really cared about in the past that I'm now interested in, right? Like Kate Bishop is one of them. We just read that recent, what was it? X Factor. It was one of the books with Beak. And I had never even cared about what a Beak was, to be honest with you. Now I'm like, okay, well, let's see if Beak becomes a hero now that his kids are being threatened in one of the books. And so I think that what Jonathan Hickman is doing is basically making all of these characters that none of us really cared about, not really, a lot more interesting. And we're talking about like Armor and not Blob. What's that guy's Blob? Maybe it is Blob. It's a weird creature like thing with like some gelatinous stuff and floating eyeballs, but it's like they're starting like Boom Boom is back, you know, and Jubilee have always enjoyed. Jubilee is back and Jubilee is interesting. And now she has a kid. I mean, it's just, I could go on and on about that particular book. Bearded Comic Collector says he's still reading through his Garage Con haul. Bro, you bought a lot of books, so I think you're going to be reading those for quite some time. So first appearance of Luke Cage was amazing. Yes, it was. I definitely enjoyed it. I think that I don't know what I had against that book. I don't know if I had anything against it. It just wasn't a book that interests me. And I finally decided one day when I was getting on a plane, I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this book. And I remember taking a photo because I was doing a Q&A on a plane. And I took a photo and I was like, here's what I'm reading, because someone was asking like what I was reading. And I read it and it was fantastic. It really was a good read. And I wish I had read it before I gave that book away for GoCollect. And the good thing is I actually have a lead. I actually have a lead on a raw copy. So I have the ability to buy it. But as you guys know, there's some other things that are on my list that are ahead of that book, but maybe one day. Scrolling down through the comments here. What is this? The way they were communicating. You could be right. I mean, but she was also trying to woo him and recruit him to be her Red Bishop. So I don't know. Maybe there could be something there. I'm not going to doubt anyone that is named King, right? So you could be right. Let's put it that way. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Better Not Tell Colossus Well said Colossus got mollywopped early on. So he's been a little bit out of commission. So I don't think he's going to be doing much with Kitty. And I don't even think he's going to be interested in Kitty. I don't know. He seemed to be, I don't know. Again, my impression of Kitty from back in the Colossus days was more of I don't know, less assertive version of Kitty. And so I don't know if that's going to dovetail quite nicely with Colossus, but we shall see. We shall see. You could have a love triangle with connecting bedrooms, kind of like what Scott, Wolverine, and Jean Grey actually have going on. So you never know. Congrats on that. Just received ASM 50 CGC 7.5 in the mail today. Hope you put gloves on when you grabbed it because that box was probably hot. Congrats, brother. That is awesome. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Kingpin Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. He says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you for certain, man. I wish I had a 7.5 once upon a time. Once upon a time, I had a 7.5, cracked it, got it signed, clean, pressed, came back a 7.0. But what can you do? No, congrats, man. That's definitely awesome. So oh my goodness. Scott, you are a nut. Yeah, man. It was a little Jerry Curl-esque back in the day. And here's the thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. I just might be jealous. Okay. As a follically challenged individual, I just might be jealous of his flowing soul. Well done, bro. Well done. That was hilarious. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Jerry Curl Bishop says Squirrel Madness, man. Hey, Squirrel Madness, be careful, brother. You're up here with me. Whoa, Greek V says, I've got Luke Cage 1 through 16 in single copy, hardcover, and digitally, the triple threat. That's what's up, man. That is awesome. Anytime you want to send me an AOK, bro, I think you know what you can send me. No. I'm actually, I may actually sit down now that I'm talking about it. I may actually read those issues now. I've never really, here's the thing is it's one of those things where you look at your collection and you have books in your collection and you were wondering what it was that motivated you to do that thing back in the day. Thought I turned that thing off. I'm still hot. And what I'm mentioning is as I think about my collection right now, I have several Luke Cage books, right? Some of them are like the 90s Luke Cage. I think there was a guy, I can't remember his name, when Luke Cage 1 dropped back in the 90s. I think I went to a con and had it signed by one of the creators. Not by the creators, but one of the people working on the book at the time. And so I have several copies of like Luke Cage books. He did a lot of crossover stuff with like the Avengers that I was reading back in the day. He did some crossover stuff with Spider-Man. At least I feel like that. And so it's one of those characters that was like always there, but I was never really into it. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, man, I wish I was into it even more because I'm missing out on some really good stuff. Unlike Greek Freak, who has the triple threat over here. Man, I am a little jealous of that one, but sooner or later. Bake the Snake is in the house. How you doing, brother? Glad he's finally awake for one of the live streams. It is good to see you, my friend. As always, it's been a while, but definitely good to see you. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, making sure that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I'm actually, I thought I had her first appearance on the wall here. It's a little surprising. I mean, I haven't looked at her first appearance in quite some time, but I'm going to take your word for it, Andrew, that there's been no movement there. But I mean, it's one of those things you have to ask yourself, like, why not? You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's because Kate has done stutter steps in the past. I don't know. It would be interesting to look to see what's happening with that, because like if you look at like Moira's first appearance, right? That book was first, I think, already expensive, right? But that book definitely took off. It was hard to find, at least in the wild for me, unlike the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, and that book you can find everywhere, you know. So I don't know. It's definitely something to take a look at. Who dat? How you doing, brother? Merry Christmas to you, my friend, and your family. I hope you guys are doing well down there. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. Okay, I think I reached the bottom here. I think 90s Cage, but I still have a lot of copies. They're dirt cheap, loved. Man, oh, don't get me started on Deathlock. I have a healthy amount of Deathlock back in the day. And here's the thing is I don't remember like going out of my way to buy Deathlock, and that's kind of where I was going. I don't remember I don't remember going out of my way to buy like Deathlock or the Cage stuff or Hulk for that matter. But I look at my collection and I actually have some of that stuff, which is a little interesting. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was because of all the crossovers and, you know, me going to the comic shop kind of sort of randomly and just buying whatever was there. I have some of that stuff and I don't quite know why, but I don't know. You guys are, man, I was looking forward to that one right there. The Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. That's the one that I was looking forward to because those two series, those two characters, those two actors, I thought would have been a nice thing to see. Right. And so maybe in a couple of years, maybe they'll make some magic or something like that down the road. What is this? Aaron Finkelstein says the 90s, he went out of his way to buy anything with Gambit. That was me in Spider-Man. That was me in Spider-Man. Anything that had Spider-Man in it, man, I bought it. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter. And honestly, I bought, like, how many people remember Terror Inc.? Does anybody remember Terror Inc. from back in the day? I think this thing crossed over with, you know, it may have crossed over with Spider-Man, maybe, but it was just like back then, I just bought everything. No rhyme or reason, just chaos. And if you think about some of the videos that I released on this channel, part of what I talk about is like having a goal. Have a goal, decide what you want to focus on, and buy things that are in accordance with that goal that you, or that objective that you set for your collection. And really it comes out of the fact that when I was younger, I just bought things willy-nilly. You know, it was like a new, oh, that's a new comic. Let me just have that. I'll take that. That looks interesting. Let me just take that, you know, and I didn't really have a focus and I kind of regret it. I kind of regret not having a focus, but I was also a kid. So, you know, what do you do about that one? What is this? How are you determining who's a good writer if you've been out of comics for a good while? That is actually a really good question. There are a couple of videos that I've done here on the channel that may actually help you with that. If you search for Regie Collects Gurus, there was one video that I did where it was about, asking people out there that had favorite characters to make recommendations for where people could onboard with those good characters, right? And so many people pointed to a great writer or a great artist as a good onboarding, right? Like that dynamic duo to be able to get an entree into certain characters. And so that video, Regie Collects Guru, that could be a very good video for you to look at, not because of the video itself, to be honest, but because of the comments. If you read the comments, there are some excellent tips and pointers in there for you, because people put in those comments a rationale for why they were saying that this book, this story arc, this issue was a great onboarding for their particular favorite character. And you may want to check that out. And if you can't find it, Randy, please let me know on Instagram or something like that, and I'll be happy to help you. But what I can tell you is that like Donny Cates is probably really hot right now, right? Donny Cates is writing a lot of really, really good stuff. So I don't know that you can go wrong with him. Jonathan Hickman, I think, is really hot. So I don't know that you can go wrong with him if you're talking about writers. The other part is you can also look at like characters, right? And you can ask yourself, what characters are you interested in? And that may also help you as well, kind of have some guidance to what genre. Like I'm into spandex. Spandex is my thing. Other people like horror. You know, other people like more independent stuff. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. But again, if you search for that video, you should be able to find it. If you search for Regie Collects Indies, there is another video where people provide recommendations for independent comics if you happen to be into that kind of thing. But like I said, if you send me a message, I'll definitely help you out as best I can if you're unable to find some of those. So scrolling down through some of my scrolling through some of the comments here. I think I just lost like 2. Let me scroll up here and see if I can find it. Thank you, Randy, for that question. What is this? In the middle of collecting the complete 90s run of Uncanny X-Men. Wow. Good luck with that, brother. So you're picking up what, like Extinction Agenda and all that kind of stuff back when when Wills was there, Jim Lee was there. I mean, if that's the stuff you're picking up, man, that's the stuff that I definitely enjoy. I may actually have a lot of that. I've never really looked at it from that perspective, but I may actually have a lot of the Uncanny X-Men already, just because that was when I was actively buying, and that was one of my favorite teams. So good luck. The Almighty Library King's like Terror Inc. sounds. I'm telling you, man, it was like a little green thing. And I think he had on a hat, a brown and black hat, and maybe a brown trench coat. That is all that I remember from this character. All that I remember. Terror Inc. is the name of it. I think the words were in red with a little bit of white outline, if memory serves. And this is going back to the 16-year-old memory, right? So it could be, I could be completely off, or I can be spot on. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Greek Freak making a couple of recommendations here. I mean, the other thing that you can always do is if you decide to get Marvel Unlimited, which is what I use, you pay $69 a year. And in Marvel Unlimited, it gives you the ability to search by creator. And so you have the ability, if you hear about these hot writers that are out there, you can actually just read what they are most known for using the dynamic search feature in Marvel Unlimited, right? So again, you go in there, you're like creators, you click on Jason Aaron, and you can see some of the great stuff that Jason Aaron has actually done, because he's another hot writer that people seem to really enjoy. He did Thor recently. So hopefully my comments help, and some of the other comments that people have been posting up here will actually help you know where to go. So scrolling down through the comments here. Was there a crossover? I didn't know that. Terror Inc. number 9 and 10, the Wolverine appearances. Wow. If any of you that have this are on Instagram, send me photos, because I'd like to see some photos of that. Who was that? I think it was Randy. Randy was asking a couple of questions. So you have a shout out here from Scott saying Hickman and Donnie Cates. Jonathan Hickman is doing a lot with X-Men right now, and Donnie Cates is just incredible. He's been writing Venom, Absolute Carnage. He's about to start working on Thor. I think did he do Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider? I think he did that as well. My memory is a little bad on certain things. Good writing his opinion. There you go. Well said, brother. Well said. Scrolling down through the comments here. Greek Freak saying you cannot go wrong with Hickman, Cates, Ewing. I don't even know how you say that last name. There you go. There you go. Indies amongst many others. There you go. Rucka is good, I guess, with indies amongst many others. So scrolling down through the comments here, what's up with the Ready Set Go? So the Ready Set Go preview show has to flex with my life, right? We've had we probably had a good run of like 38 weeks or so before any changes, but sometimes life gets in the way, and I have to make some adjustments so that I can do some other things, So I think people get that. I know you probably get it as well. So, but yeah, I had to make a couple of adjustments so that I can do a couple of things. So there you go. What comics am I looking forward to next year? I actually talked about this in the last live stream. So there's a couple. So Jonathan Hickman is doing something with Giant Size X-Men that I'm looking forward to. The Wolverine #1 series starting back up. I'm looking forward to that. All of the things that are going on right now with the X-Men series, right? So your Marauders, your X-Force, your New Mutants, your X-Men, your Fallen Angels. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with those series in the next year. I think that it's been an incredible, right now, 4 issues from each one of them that, kind of sort of from all 4 of them. I mean, from all 6 of them, 4 issues that I've enjoyed. And so looking forward to seeing what the future holds. I don't read previews magazine, so I'm not, one of those people that looks to see what comes out. I'm not that futuristic. But those are probably a couple that are on the top of my mind that I'm looking forward to checking out. There's the Gung Ho. I talked about Gung Ho from Blaze Studios that I'm looking forward to reading. Philadelphia from Image. I read issue #1, thoroughly enjoyed that. I think issue #2 actually comes out in January, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. That has actually been optioned by by Netflix, I think. I don't know any of the details. I just know that it's been optioned. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, not with them optioning it, but with the comic, to be honest with you, because I actually enjoy reading that. I enjoy a good horror comic, especially if it involves, well, particularly if it involves vampires. And so Philadelphia is kind of like right up my alley. So, all right. So, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that because I want to check those out, my man. I definitely want to see those. All right. So let me give you guys a quick heads up on what is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week, so you guys can be aware of some of those things, because that's part of what we do as part of the Ready, Set, Go preview show, whether it happens on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I hope to get back to a regular schedule soon. I did tell you guys, I did signal last week on the last Ready, Set, Go preview show that this was going to be a short week. I did signal that without telling you all the details. If you listen, I do signal. All right, so let me give you a breakdown of the videos that are actually going to be coming out this week. These videos are going to be released Monday through Friday, always at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. And I think there's a couple of really cool videos here. One of them is I'm calling it tips to scam proof your Instagram selling. And so I did a video not that long ago where I actually gave people tips on how to sell comics on Instagram. And I was talking to some people recently online and offline. And I had another thought about doing a follow-up video to the first one, where I basically offered people some tips on how to hopefully prevent themselves from being scammed if they are selling comics on Instagram. And so people's minds automatically go to, well, I thought scams happened when people bought comics. That is true. But they also happen when people sell comics as well. And it's one of those things that seems to be growing a little bit in popularity. So again, there is nothing that is 100% safe, right? But I want to give a couple of tips that I think could help people that opt to sell comics on Instagram. So lots of caveats around that one. It's not 100%. It's a couple of things for you to think about if you decide to go down that path. All right. This next one is one that I was kind of remiss in not doing this one. And so I finally circled back around to do it. And it's basically a video on how to ship graded comics. I've done several videos on how to back and board comics, several videos on how to ship raw comics, lots of different ways to do that, to ship them to someone that has bought books from you, to ship them as an AOK, to ship them to CGC, lots of different videos on that. But I don't think that I'd ever done one on how to ship graded comics, so slabbed comics. So there is a video that I've put together that actually shows you how to do that. I think it's a cool video. I think it's going to be a helpful how-to video that I think people will enjoy. So hopefully you guys will watch it and will enjoy. The next one is going to be a comic haul video, comic haul /AOK/blooper, because I do make mistakes. And I decided to leave this mistake in. And so it'll be a comic haul AOK blooper video that'll be dropping. I'm going to do a recap. I'm going to do a recap of GarageCon. So GarageCon happened on Saturday. Someone sent me a message or posted up a comment on Sunday morning, was like, so where's the video for GarageCon? I'm like, whoa. It just happened yesterday. And I was actually sick at the time. So a recap of GarageCon is going to happen. And for those that don't know, GarageCon is basically where I opened my garage and I sold books out of the garage for like $1. And I met a lot of really awesome people, some of which are actually in this room right now. And so we're going to do a recap of GarageCon. And I'm going to be honest with you, I spent more time talking at GarageCon than I did filming at GarageCon. So you guys are going to have to bear with me, but I think there's some good stuff in there. So hopefully you will enjoy that. Brandon's like, I love the poo-poo platter. Yeah, man. The poo-poo platter videos are cool. Those are cool. I think I've done 2 of them, and they're cool videos. I think just fun, just a little something different, Yes, I like them raw, says Scott. Yes. And here, let me just say this. There is something for you as well in this video. If you like raw comics, there is something for you in the graded comic shipping video as well. Cliffhanger. And then the last video that's going to be coming out this week is a hunting video. It's a hunting video where I am actually out there hunting for a modern Grail comic. And so all of these videos I think are cool. It's a mixture of like, hauls and recap videos. And then also I think some practical, helpful videos that I think will have some residual value for people down the road. So and I'll also give you a quick heads up. I had a little bit of an epiphany on my hunting videos, and the hunting videos by far are some of the more popular videos that I do here on the channel. And I had a little bit of an epiphany for something that I want to introduce to you guys in the new year. So stay tuned for that. Talk about cliffhangers. Wow, cryptic cliffhangers at that. But I have a new little element that I want to introduce to the hunting videos that I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's a little bit more of an immersive kind of thing that I think people will hopefully get a kick out of. And I hope to be able to share those videos with you guys soon. So, what is this? Yeah, GarageCon got a lot of great stories from Regie. Great guy to talk to. Brother, thank you very much. Will GarageCon be coming to Dallas soon? No. No, GarageCon is not going on the road. Did you watch the last video where people are like, yeah, you should just come on the road with GarageCon? No, it doesn't work that way. What is this? How about a look back at 2019 with your top pickups found on hunts? Man, see, the challenge is I would have to go back and watch all those videos, right? Because I honestly can't remember which books I picked up as part of a hunt versus like a haul versus like a purchase. You know what I'm saying? It's so many books. I mean, you have to think about it. I don't think it's been the full year, but let's just say that it's been the last 9 months that I've been releasing 5 videos per week and doing on average between 1 and 3 live streams a week. That's a lot of content, that's a lot of books. That's a lot of editing, a lot of filming. Everything is a blur, and so I sometimes get things wrong just because I honestly just cannot remember all the details, because I'm constantly also in the present, in the future, in the past, all at the same time, where I'm trying to remember, okay, so what is the video I'm about to release next week that I can't talk about today because it's coming out next week and they don't know this? It's tough. It is definitely a balancing act. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do that kind of video. So so here's what's funny. Next year, GarageCon badges will be used. Well done. So what's funny is I went to one of my comic shops that I hadn't been to in a little bit. And I told my guy I was like, yeah, I couldn't come to your sale that you had on Saturday because I had GarageCon at my house. He was like, what's GarageCon? I was like, well, I opened the garage and I sold some books out of the garage. He was like, where was my invite? And so I got a kick out of that. He's actually a really awesome comic shop owner. He's like, where's my invite to GarageCon? So we may have to do GarageCon like spring or something like that. We may have to do it again because I honestly enjoyed myself just sitting and chatting with people. Hopefully it'll be warmer because my feet were frozen. You guys saw my heater out there. If you were at GarageCon, there was my heater trying to keep myself warm, and it was a good time. So it is a lot of content. It really is a lot of content. I was talking to somebody else and they were like, I don't know how you do it all. I'm like, I don't know how I do it either. I think it was Johnny Future. He was like, with all the comments that people post and all the content that you release and all the comments on those videos, how do you read it all? And I'm like, I just do. I just do. So we will continue this. I want to give this book away. So let's do that. And then we can continue to chat. Regie is a machine. Brother, I have been accused of that for a very, very long time. When I left one company, they actually gave me a cape and a plastic heart. Because they were like, you are a machine and you clearly don't have a real heart that functions. And so I like work. I like to be busy. It gives me comfort. I like to stay busy. So, because otherwise you waste away, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and give away let's go ahead and give away a cool comic, and it looks like the chat is actually gonna behave, so I'm definitely excited about that. So we're gonna give this book away. This is Dark Hawk #1. This is from my childhood, and the code for this one, the phrase for this one was actually amulet. And because it was a short week, I actually released this book, the video for this book on Monday, trying to give people ample time to watch the video between Monday and 5 p.m. today. Try to give you guys as much time, knowing that I was actually had to shorten things up because I had some stuff to do. So I want to thank everyone, all 200 of you, for bearing with me as I had to make these adjustments to still, be able to live a life. Right. So we're going to give away that book. And again, a huge shout out to the folks at GoCollect for putting me in a position to be able to give away these books every single week for like 45 weeks. So we're going to be giving away that Dark Hawk book. We're going to give away this book right here as an exclusive GoCollect variant. And then you will have your choice of a large or extra large GoCollect t-shirt in either the gray or a dark gray. So when you send me your message, if you win, you need to let me know whether you want the gray, the light gray, or the dark gray, and whether you want it in large or extra large. Those are the only two sizes available and the only two colors. No one should ask for a large or a medium in red, because we don't have it. All right. So light gray, dark gray, extra large, large. That is it. All right. So there we go. And then if you do win, you send me the message to RegieCollects@gmail.com. I will get your stuff bundled up. You'll send me your name, your screen name, your mailing address, and your preferences. I will bundle this stuff up and get it shipped out to you just as soon as I can. All right. So let me go ahead and show my screen here so that you guys can actually see this thing. And these are all of the individuals that were able to enter this week's contest. And again, the phrase to enter this week's contest was actually amulet. That was the phrase. And so these are all the folks. I just want to kind of show the list here so that everyone can see it. And just as a reminder, what you have to do to enter the contest is basically watch the videos that come out from the channel Monday through Friday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. And in one of those videos, I basically give you a phrase. And you capture that phrase, you head over to the community tab, you find the post where I'm talking about this book or whatever the book is. You click the link to go to MailChimp, you plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are relevant to you, and 1 of them is the phrase that I would have given you in that video. And then you hit the submit button. That's basically all you have to do. And of course, we ask that you be a subscriber of the channel and all that kind of stuff. You be a resident of the US, a resident of Canada, or have a mailing address in the United States. Those are the requirements. All right. So let's go ahead and roll some dice, and then we will give away this book. And again, huge shout out to the folks over at GoCollect. So we rolled a 7. Hopefully you guys can see that. Rolled a 7. So we are going to randomize this list a total of 7 times. And then somebody will walk away with a pretty awesome book from my childhood. All right, so let's go back to the list. We're going to randomize it a total of 7 times. That is 1 right there, scrolling down. That is 2. Here is 3. Here is 4, 5, 6. And the winner of this week's GoCollect giveaway is Quest Dog. Quest Dog, you are the winner of an awesome book, Dark Hawk #1, 9.8 from CGC. Please send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com, providing me with your name, your screen name, your mailing address, your preference for either a large or extra large, and also a gray or dark gray shirt. And if you don't want the shirt, we can actually send you a pin/stylus, get that sent out to you. And if you send that email to me tonight, I will get all of this stuff bundled up and sent out to you in a timely manner. Congrats. And again, thanks to everyone that actually entered the giveaway this week. I think there was 205, 206 of you or something like that in the giveaway. So huge shout out to everybody. And I want to thank all of you guys for continuing to support the channel. And it looks like my chat just went out. So bear with me as I flip over to YouTube so I can actually see the live stream. Scrolling through. Scott's on fire tonight. Scott says, I love me some Tribe Called Quest. Greek Freak is asking the question if anyone has actually won more than once. There have been, I want to say, there's somebody that actually tracks, and I cannot remember his name right now, but there is somebody that actually tracks every single giveaway that I do here on the channel. And they track the book, the value of the book, the number of entrants, who won. And when I tell you, again, when I tell you I have some awesome subscribers, I am being honest. This person tabulated all of this and occasionally sends me a spreadsheet with it being updated so that I can actually see it. And I only know this because of this person doing it. And if you were in the room, shout yourself out so we can say something to you. But there he is, Lee. There we go. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Lee, forgive me, brother. Forgive me. Lots of names, lots of screen names. Forgive me for that. But thank you, Lee. So Lee does it. And according to Lee, there you go. There was one winner who won twice. And I think it was a woman, wasn't it? Was it Connie? I think it was Connie. I think Connie actually won twice, if memory serves. And I think she won back to back, not back to back, but she won twice with like a week in between or something like that. But it's been like a while. It's been a while. So, Bruce Lee. Bubs Comics, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, man, Greek Freak, Lee is the real MVP. He is awesome, man. I remember when he first sent it to me, I was like caught off guard. I was like, that is a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, you know? You know what? We are going to do something. We're going to do something. And we're going to do it right now. And again, I have to apologize because I've been under the weather. A lot of things have been kind of thrown off for me. There were things that I actually wanted to do this week that I haven't had an opportunity to do. But when the mood strikes me to do something, I want to take advantage of it. And so I am moved at this moment. I want to give an instant token of appreciation to Lee. Because to the point, he is an MVP, right? He does this without being asked. He does it like for just because. He does it just because to be a contributing member. So what I'm going to do right now, Lee, this is for you, brother. This is from 3204 auctions. They sent me these gift certificates. I'm going to award this gift certificate to you for being an awesome member of the comic book community. And I'm actually going to add to it from my personal pocket an additional $20. I'm going to send this to you when we wrap up. Actually, send me an email because that'll remind me. This is for you. I want to say thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you for being a member of what we do here at the channel, brother. I definitely appreciate you. So shout out to the folks at 3204 Auctions for hooking us up with these gift certificates. And they gave us a bunch of books and a bunch of gift certificates to actually give away here on the channel. And so I want to use this opportunity and use their generosity to extend some generosity. So here real quick. I actually want to pop over here to 3204 Auctions website. You can see here that if you just type in 3204auctions.com, you can actually go to their eBay store. Basically what these folks do, man, is that they are a subscription service where you can buy a couple of tokens, 3 tokens for $39.99. And you have the ability, once you have these 3 tokens, to basically say to them, I am interested in this book or that book that comes out next week or a month from now or whatever it happens to be. And I would like that book at a 9.8. What they do is they go out, they find that book, and they try to, as best they can, submit that book to CGC and get you a 9.8 for $39.99. They try as best they can to make some magic happen. And so if they're able to do it, you get that book at $39.99. And I've never heard that they can't, but I have to put that cautionary note out there, right? If the book that you select goes up in value for some crazy reason, then you still pay $39.99 plus shipping, right? And so really awesome service. Oh, wow. They have Spider-Man #1 here. This is first appearance of Cadaverous. Man, so here they've actually increased the price of this one because I'm guessing this is a leftover book. But again, this is a great example. This book came out not that long ago. You could have paid $39.99 from these guys and been able to get this book for that price. But now I'm guessing based upon F&V, it is now about $80 or something like that. But with this coupon that I'm actually, or this gift certificate that I'm actually going to give to Lee, he has the ability to come over to their eBay store and to pick up a book or two of his choosing for 20 bucks off plus 20 bucks that I'm going to give him. So hopefully he can find something here that fits his fancy. So again, huge shout out to the guys over at 3204 for hooking me up with this stuff. And thank you to Lee for being an awesome guy. So let me stop sharing my screen. And then let me go back to the chat so I can actually see what you guys are talking about. Making sure, okay, making sure. The almighty Liger King just shouting out Lee, Lee, Lee. Oh man, that is hilarious. All right. So Lee, make sure you send me an email, brother. Make sure you send me an email so I can hook you up with this tonight. I want to make sure that I take care of it before it slips my mind, but I want to say thank you for that. And I talk a lot about the subscribers out there, and there are a lot of people that I talk to on the backside of things that never get mentioned, that are just awesome people. And I'm thankful for all of those folks. All right. So I don't know if there was anything else that you guys want to talk about. Huge shout out to Lee for hooking me up, and then Quest Dog for winning the GoCollect giveaway. So if you, Quest Dog, are watching this right now, make sure you send me an email so I can get this this book sent out to you in a timely manner. And if you guys want to talk about some other stuff, throw them up in all chat caps so we can definitely talk a little bit about it. Oh, you guys are talking about White Widow. I've never read that. Isn't White Widow basically a female Spider-Man almost? Isn't that's the comparator that I've heard? I don't know that it to be true or not. Scrolling down through, any preview on next week's slab? No, not at the moment, because it's still quite early. So no preview at the moment for next week's slab, but I would definitely say stay tuned, because you never know when it's going to come. I mean, let's just be honest. You never know. Scrolling through. Oh, says he's thinking about getting into it. There you go. I've heard that it's like a female Spider-Man. I've seen some of the covers. The covers are just are nice. But I've never purchased one. I've never even attempted to read one. So I don't know. Whoa, Connor says finally got his Fantastic Four 48 graded. Should be back by early January. That'll be a late Christmas gift to yourself, brother. Congratulations. Look, fingers crossed that you get a solid grade on that. It's always a special thing. That is a really cool book. The whole trilogy is fantastic, right? There's no doubt about it. But yeah, good luck. I hope you get a solid grade for your book, man. Have a red bone yet? No, I have not. There's so many other things, man, that I'm trying to read that I haven't even gotten around to that. I still have the hardcover or the graphic novel down in the basement. So I may get to it at some point. We will see. White Widow's blood or something is the suit. Spider-Man-ish going after parents' assassin, says Ramos. Thank you for that. I have the first 30 or so bones. Those are very fast reads. Not a lot of text. You should knock that one out. Says Lee. I'm having to read this in YouTube versus my interface. So you guys have to bear with me just a little bit. Sorry about that. Scrolling through the comments here. Almighty Liger King saying welcome to Connor for coming into the FF48 club. Scrolling through. C3E is asking if I picked up any good books lately. Not well here. So I did, if you guys remember, I did a video where I talked about the many faces of Spider-Man. And it was actually, I think it was a cool video. But it was a video that basically looked at the various uniforms and costumes that Spider-Man has actually worn over the years. And one of the books that I did not show in that video, but I talked about, was the FF by Jonathan Hickman. FF #1 by Jonathan Hickman was the first appearance of Spider-Man's Freedom Foundation suit. And I started reading that book because it arrived like a couple of days ago, and I started reading it, and it's really good. It is a really, really good book. So there's a lot of modern stuff that I'm reading now, and this is still modern, but not necessarily new. I'm enjoying that. I am definitely enjoying that one. But this is basically on the tail end of Johnny Storm basically dying. and Ben and the rest of the FF going through the grieving process. And then they've given up their basically their FF or their Fantastic Four uniforms, right? And moved on to FF, the Freedom Foundation, which is like this white and black uniform that they wear. And it's by Jonathan Hickman, and I am honestly enjoying it. I am looking forward to reading several more issues of this one, but that's one that I'm definitely digging right now. Philadelphia is another one that I picked up recently. It's on issue number 1. Issue number 2 actually comes out, I think, in January, early January, so I'm looking forward to reading that. So those are probably 2 books that are like right on, the top of my head that I can rattle off that are just really, really good reads, at least in my opinion. So scrolling through the comments here. Scrolling through. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you for the question, C3E. Let me also check real quick. The Instagram feed, because we're doing the crossover. I think I must have scared a lot of people because I normally get a ton of questions on Instagram, but because I guess I was doing the crossover to YouTube, not as many questions. But again, a huge shout out to NYC Collectors who posted up a question over there. So I definitely want to thank you, brother, for responding and giving me something to talk about here on the live stream. So there you go. Again, real quick, 5 awesome videos that are going to be coming out this week. I hope you guys will check them out. One of them is a way to scam proof your Instagram selling. If you happen to be selling comics, I'm going to offer you a couple, I think, of practical tips that hopefully will help you. None of them are 100% protective, but a couple of things that you might want to think about. I'm going to do a video on how to ship graded comics, at least my method for shipping graded comics. And one thing that you guys will always hear from me is that there's lots of ways to do all this stuff. This is one method, a method that has not failed me yet. I have not had a single graded comic damaged that I have mailed out. So fingers crossed that it actually continues. So I'm actually going to be showing you my method for doing it. I'm going to be releasing kind of sort of a poo-poo platter video. It's going to be a comic haul, an AOK, and a little bit of a blooper. Decided to keep the blooper in so you guys could see that because I think people get a kick out of that. It's not always perfect. There are mistakes, and so it's like, forget about it. You can't be too serious about it. So that video will be coming out. I'm also going to do a recap of Garage Con. I did a lot more talking at Garage Con than shooting a video, but I had a good time. I think that everyone there had a good time. And so I want to actually show you some footage from Garage Con that I think you guys will enjoy. And then the very last thing is going to be a hunting video for a modern Grail comic. You definitely want to check that one out because I think that this book is one that a lot of people really, really like, that people aspire to have, but it is definitely a modern key, a modern Grail for some people. So stay tuned for that. And then I also need to figure out how to get one podcast out this week. So I need to work on that. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. I hope that you guys enjoyed this live stream. And if you did, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up. Stay tuned because there's a lot of really cool videos that are going to be coming out from the channel this week. And again, huge shout out to Lee Atkins for hooking me up, and also Quest Dog, the winner of the Go Collect giveaway tonight. If you guys need me, feel free to reach out to me at RegieCollects on Instagram or Regie at RegieCollects.com. Got it right. Take care.